Same diagnosis, same medication, but why is everyone else getting better and I'm not? If you've ever found yourself wondering this, you're not alone. Let me tell you about Susan. Susan is in her early 40s, a busy professional, juggling work and home life. But then she starts noticing something strange. Her fingers are stiff in the morning. Not sore, just off. Almost like they don't belong to her. At first, she chalks it up to stress or maybe water retention, but days pass, then weeks. Even after a full night's sleep, her joints still feel swollen, and worse, more painful. One morning, she drops a plate while doing the dishes. Her grip just gives out. That's when she decides it's time to see a doctor. Blood tests, x-rays, specialist visits later, she gets her diagnosis: rheumatoid arthritis. Her doctor prescribes methotrexate, one of the most widely used first-line treatments. It works best when started early, she's told. She takes the pills religiously, hoping to see improvement. But after several months, the pain and stiffness are still there. Even worse, new symptoms show up: nausea, mouth ulcers, and constant fatigue, all common side effects of her drug. It feels like she traded one illness for another. When she returns to her doctor, she learns something unsettling. Methotrexate works well for about 20 to 30% of patients on its own. Most people need additional drugs. Susan realizes she's not one of the lucky ones. Now her options: try another drug, then another. See what sticks. But each drug means more side effects, more risks. She starts asking herself, is this really the only way? This is the moment when people start scouring the internet at 2 a.m., searching for stories like this, not because they're curious, but because they're desperate. Trying another drug isn't just a casual decision. It's a full-blown dilemma. What if it doesn't work either? What if the side effects are worse? Am I just experimenting on my body now, hoping something eventually sticks? That's the kind of internal conflict that doesn't let you sleep. Susan had already done everything right: regular exercise, healthy diet, managing stress, all the things she's supposed to do. And yet here she was, still in pain. She couldn't help but wonder, should I take another drug? Should I stop altogether? What am I supposed to do when the thing that's meant to help is making me feel worse? When the treatment becomes the problem? That's when people like Susan start looking outside the box. And that's when she stumbled on something unexpected. She learns that herbal formulas have been used to treat rheumatoid arthritis in East Asian medicine. Skeptical but curious, she finds a practitioner known for experience with complex cases. And the first thing he says is,
We need to understand your pattern.
wait, what? Not just the diagnosis, but her overall pattern of symptoms? Her internal state? The practitioner starts asking questions no one's asked before. Do you feel hot more often or cold? Are your hands and feet generally warm or cold? What's your digestion like? What kind of drinks do you crave? When your joints hurt, does heat help or make it worse? These questions seem oddly specific, but they're part of something called pattern differentiation. Susan is diagnosed with a heat pattern. That means her body tends to run hot internally. She often prefers cold drinks, feels worse in hot weather, and finds relief from cold compresses. And here's the kicker: patients with heat patterns have been shown to respond poorly to methotrexate. Yes, the very first-line treatment she took for months and got severe side effects from. Suddenly, all of it made sense to her. In fact, a study published over 15 years ago found clear distinctions in how different body types respond to standard medications. Patients with cold patterns showed significantly better results than those with heat patterns. And today, more research is suggesting that these patterns may correlate with genetic and metabolic differences too. No expensive DNA test needed, just a deeper understanding of your body. Susan is prescribed an herbal formula tailored specifically for her heat pattern. No immediate miracle, but by week 3 or 4, she begins to notice real changes. Morning stiffness eases, swelling and heat around the joints reduce, no nausea, no mouth ulcers, her energy starts to return. By the end of 8 weeks, she reports over 50% improvement in joint pain and stiffness. Blood tests show lowered inflammation markers. And most importantly, for the first time in months, she feels like her body is working with her, not against her. Pattern-based diagnosis, long practiced in East Asian medicine, especially in Korea, Japan, China, and Taiwan, is now gaining attention among modern researchers. Beyond rheumatoid arthritis, pattern-matched herbal therapies have shown promise in various conditions, including but not limited to IBS, stroke recovery, chronic respiratory disease, depression, high cholesterol. And perhaps most exciting, studies are finding correlations between these traditional patterns and measurable biological differences in gene expression, immune profiles, and metabolism. It's not one-size-fits-all medicine. It's personalized care, just in a different language. Some of you might be thinking, isn't this all ultimately a genetic issue? Wouldn't a DNA test tell me which drug I'll respond to? That's a very smart question. And yes, genetic testing is becoming an incredibly powerful tool in medicine. But for most chronic conditions like autoimmune diseases, we're not quite there yet. The technology is promising, but still more focused on areas like cancer treatments. If you have access to reliable testing and if it's affordable for you, it's absolutely worth exploring. But for the rest of us, pattern-based diagnosis can offer surprising insights without needing a lab. So let's come back to where we started, with Susan. If you've ever felt like her, doing everything right, trusting your treatment plan, but still feeling stuck, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the mismatch. Pattern-based medicine isn't a miracle, but for people who've tried everything else, it might be the missing piece. Let me be clear. Every disease has its own standardized treatment protocols. I'm not here to dismiss that. Those guidelines are based on large-scale studies, and they help doctors provide consistent, evidence-based care. But when you've already gone through the first and second-line treatment, and it didn't work, and the side effects were more than just inconvenient, you start to feel scared of what's next. And that fear, that hesitation about trying the second or third drug, that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Because after one bad experience, it's only human to think, what if the next one is worse? Am I just being told to keep going, no matter the cost? Most people in that moment just bury the discomfort. They think, well, my doctor knows better. They've seen this before. I should just go with what they say. And yes, modern medicine is powerful, and your trust in your doctor matters. But if something deep down doesn't sit right with you, if your quality of life is slipping, if your body's signals keep telling you to pause, then that discomfort deserves to be heard. To those of you in that position, this could be a turning point. Not a miracle, not a myth, but a method, tested, studied, and used in real clinical settings. In countries like Japan, herbal prescriptions based on pattern differentiation are used by MDs in hospitals. Why? Because they help. So before you give up or move blindly to the next drug, consider asking a different kind of question. What's my body's pattern? Because understanding that just might change everything. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more stories like Susan's. Drop a comment if you've ever wondered, why isn't this working for me? We want to hear your story. And if you're curious about your own pattern type, stick around. We've got more videos coming just for you.
The patient stories I share are composite cases based on real medical scenarios with fictional names and details to protect privacy.